Okay, what I hope to accomplish in this video is to show you a couple of pretty easy examples of direct substitution. And in direct substitution is where you're given an equation and you're given the x value and you're supposed to just plug that in and see what number comes out the other side. So what we were given here in the problem is we were actually given let x equal -2. That's what the problem actually said. What I changed that to, of course, was find f of -2, because Leonhard Euler in the 18th century provided us with this function notation that we see all the time, that f of x notation, which is actually really cool because usually we see here f of x, but instead here we have f of -2. So the x is missing and it's filled in with a -2. So what that tells us is in our equation, every place we find an x, replace it with -2. So that's all I'm going to do here. I'm going to rewrite the equation. We're taking f of -2. So I'm going to leave that x out for now. I'm going to do 2 times x cubed plus 5x squared plus 4x plus 8 here. All I'm going to do is this, every place I found an x, we're going to let x equal -2. So every place I found an x, I'm going to put in -2. So I'm going to take f of -2. It's 2x cubed, so it's -2 cubed. It's -5 times -2 squared, and 4 times -2. This is really, really crucial because I think it's one of the biggest mistakes, well, at least most common mistakes made by even the best of math students, is that they forget to use PEMDAS. They forget to use PEMDAS. So occasionally we'll have a student who will multiply 2 times -2, get -4, and then cube that. Well, if you did that, if you multiplied this times this, you'd be jumping to the multiplication part before you did the exponent part. So remember, do the exponents first. So we have -2 cubed. So -2 cubed is -2 times -2 times -2. That's a -2. Is equal to a negative times a negative times a negative is a negative. And 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So we have -8. So here we have 2 times this -8 is going to go in here. Here we have this -2 squared. -2 squared is -2 times -2, and a negative times a negative is a positive, and 2 times 2 is 4, so that gives us 4 here. So 5 times, and we're going to put our 4 in there. And then this we can actually do, can't we? 4 times -2 is -8, and then this plus item is going to bring it down. I haven't done anything with it yet. I'm going to go back here and remind myself that I did this math, and we did -2 times -2 times -2 is -8. That's where this -8 comes from. We did -2 squared is 4. That's where this 4 comes from. And remember, the whole thing is we were looking for f of -2. Now we have no exponents left to be simplified, so now we can move on to the multiplication part. 2 times -8 is -16. 5 times 4 is 20, so positive 20, isn't it? Then -8 comes down, and -8 comes down. This is, we're almost there. And it's going to start, whoops, sorry, this was a positive here, wasn't it? So I apologize, this is a positive here. So -8 plus -8 is 0, so these just go away. And then we end up with 4, that's true, but we end up with 20 minus 16, which is 4, so we have f of -2 is equal to 4. And what's really cool about Euler's notation is that instead of xy, we get x f of x. So here we're going to get the point -2, 4. Thank you, Leonhard Euler. Okay, let's try to do one more. Whoa, really, really quickly. That was really pretty exciting. All right, so here's the second equation. Given that f of x is x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x plus 5, let x equal -3. So what are we going to do? We're going to take f of -3. So we're going to take f of -3. And what does that mean? Every place we find an x, we're going to put in a -3. So we have -3 cubed plus 3 times -3 squared, right? Minus 2 times, I think my color coordination just went out the window, didn't it? Plus 5, sorry about that. So let's just do this. This is negative 3 cubed, which means negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. So a negative times a negative times a negative is a negative. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So there's 27 here. And we have, going to do our exponents first. Remember, no multiplication before exponents. Exponents first, so negative 3 squared is 9. 3 times 9 is 27. Here, this is a little bit strange. We have negative 2 here. This is negative 2, and negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6, isn't it? And then we'll bring down this positive 5. Remember, what were we looking for? We were looking for f of negative 3. So I'm going to start here again. F of negative 3. And then I'm going to do a little bit of math. Negative 27 plus 27 is 0, isn't it? 6 plus 5 is 11. 6 plus 5 is 11. So that gives us the point. Remember, Euler's notation. X, f of x, instead of xy. So we get the point. Negative 3. That's this negative 3. 11. That's this 11. So it's really good stuff. Remember, please, PEMDAS is the most common error made when there are mistakes on these types of problems. So good work. Please practice, 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 practice. You're going to get really, really good at this.